Ferrari represents more than just a car brand, it is an icon of sportiness and desire for many car enthusiasts. Enzo Ferrari, its founder and renowned racing driver, is one of the pillars of the automotive industry, who managed to establish himself through his passion for engines and speed. However, Ferrari does not reign alone in the manufacturing of dream supercars. When Enzo arrogantly criticized a tractor manufacturer, insinuating that he couldn't complain about a Ferrari's clutch, it sparked a rivalry between none other than Ferruccio Lamborghini and Enzo Ferrari. Lamborghini, provoked, decided to produce cars superior to Enzo's, establishing a fierce competition in the supercar market far beyond Italy. Currently, although Ferrari and Lamborghini produce luxury high-cost vehicles, Ferrari differs in its exclusivity policy. This differentiator is not always positive, as it impacts the manufacturer's reputation. Having money is not enough to acquire a Ferrari, the criteria go beyond that. You may have to wait for years until you are considered a suitable buyer. And a small detail can lead the manufacturer to recommend you to buy a used model instead of a brand new one, or perhaps refuse the sale. Yes, acquiring the car is just the beginning. If Ferrari disapproves of something you did with your vehicle, you may face severe legal complications, to the extent that the manufacturer may ask for the car back. So, what benefit does Ferrari gain by acting this way with customers and potential buyers? And what requirements are necessary to become part of the exclusive club of brand new Ferrari owners? Acquiring a brand new Ferrari is a saga filled with bureaucracy, patience, and substantial investment. It is not just about the high costs associated with the brand, but the exhaustive process to materialize the purchase. Ferrari imposes strict requirements on its customers. A common phrase among enthusiasts is that, "You don't choose Ferrari, Ferrari chooses you." This means that there is a specific profile that the manufacturer considers ideal for owning their new cars. If you don't meet these criteria, it is unlikely that you will be able to make a deal. For standard Ferrari models, the company usually requires an ownership history from buyers. It is evaluated whether the individual has previously owned a Ferrari. If they have never owned one, whether new or used, their chances of acquiring a brand new one decrease significantly. And if they own a Lamborghini, forget about the idea of having a new Ferrari. Age is another influential factor. Most Ferrari sellers don't even consider selling a new car to individuals under 40 years old. There is also a need for a substantial down payment and a high credit score for any financing negotiation, which is expected for vehicles of such high value. After the acquisition, the customer must follow a series of Ferrari's requirements. These include carrying out maintenance only at authorized workshops, refraining from making changes to the engine or bodywork, not painting the vehicle pink or similar colors, and never hiding the brand emblem. The list of demands continues, and if they are not met, Ferrari has the right to take back the car. And the situation becomes even more complex for the rare limited edition models. In addition to all the requirements of the standard models, even more challenging criteria must be met, which can take years. For example, the buyer must earn the trust of Ferrari sellers, building a solid relationship over the years to be considered a potential buyer of a limited edition. It is necessary for the client to be loyal to the brand, owning multiple Ferraris and having already visited the Ferrari factory in Maranello, Italy. These are just some basic requirements. In fact, it is impossible to know all the exact criteria of Ferrari, as they maintain a certain aura of mystery. Meeting these demands does not guarantee approval as a buyer. However, being a celebrity can somewhat facilitate this process. Even being famous, Ferrari carefully analyzes the image associated with the celebrity, their behavior, and lifestyle. In 2016, former multimillionaire race car driver Preston Henn was not approved as a buyer for the limited edition LaFerrari Spider, despite being an avid collector of Ferraris for decades and owning 18 different models, including a Formula One car driven by Michael Schumacher. Displeased with the news and after sending a $1 million check to the director of Ferrari, Preston decided to sue the Italian company for defamation. However, the situation became so exhausting that Preston gave up on the purchase and the lawsuit, acquiring an Acura NSX, which he considered the best car he ever had. Obviously, the extreme strictness of Ferrari's sales policy generates controversy. However, the purchase is just the first step. Ferrari's after-sales service is also demanding, and the company spares no effort to ensure that you are worthy of owning a Ferrari supercar. The purchase of a brand new Ferrari is an adventure that stands out on its own. The initial challenge lies in accumulating the necessary amount, a generous sum, followed by the arduous process of buyer approval, a path that the Italian manufacturer has meticulously designed and selected. But those who think that once approved, the path is smooth are seriously mistaken. It is a common misconception to think that after acquiring your Ferrari, the manufacturer will leave you alone. In reality, Ferrari keeps a constant eye on its owners, ensuring they do not violate the strict rules it establishes. They have a team of lawyers ready to act if anyone deviates from the guidelines. Thus, even after acquiring your high-value car, the buyer continues to be accountable to the manufacturer. This constant surveillance is not a pleasant feeling. After all, who would enjoy their Ferrari knowing that every move is under scrutiny? This can discourage potential buyers who, instead of dreaming of a free and thrilling experience, find themselves confronted with a list of rigid rules. Many give up on the idea of buying a brand new Ferrari. Bill Sino, a car collector and proud owner of 4 limited edition Ferraris, prefers to buy second-hand cars. Despite the higher price, he chose to avoid the challenging and rigorous approval process of Ferrari. Jay Leno, a famous American presenter and car enthusiast whom we have featured on the channel, with a collection of over 180 vehicles, echoes this sentiment. He has no intention of buying a new Ferrari car. Jay Leno describes the frustrating experience of dealing with Ferrari salespeople and their exhausting purchasing process. In comparison, he mentions his experience with buying a McLaren MP412C. Leno highlights the exceptional service he received, including a free power upgrade offered after 6 or 7 months of owning the same vehicle. Leno also shares a memorable experience with Porsche, emphasizing the high-level service he received when purchasing a Carrera GT, which included the visit of 2 mechanics on the delivery day to teach him about the car and gifts such as an exclusive jacket. These experiences highlight the importance of feeling valued as a customer, something that Ferrari seems to ignore. The Italian brand does not hesitate to use its team of lawyers to protect its own interests, even if it causes inconvenience to third parties or its own customers. In 2020, Ferrari sued an Italian NGO fighting against doping in sports, seeking exclusivity over the name Purosangue. A German fashion designer was forced to remove all Instagram posts with his Ferrari 812 Superfast, alleging that he was using the brand to promote his own products. It's not only unknown individuals who face Ferrari's rigor but also celebrities like Justin Bieber, Floyd Mayweather, Kim Kardashian, Nicolas Cage, and 50 Cent, who have been blacklisted by the manufacturer for various reasons. Sami Wazam, the founder of a Ferrari fan page on Facebook, was another target of the brand's surveillance. His page reached over 10 million followers, but after Ferrari took control, Sami was removed from the administration. He appealed to the court, but unfortunately, his action was not successful. In Brazil, Vita Estevam, a dentist who built a replica of the Ferrari F40 using parts from wrecked vehicles, also faced legal problems when he tried to sell his creation. Ferrari sued him for counterfeiting, seizing his project. Although he won the legal battle, the action highlights how far Ferrari is willing to go to protect its brand. In addition to all the rules and regulations, Ferrari is also trying to control how its brand is perceived on social media. It is evident that the company has the right to protect its image, but the question is to what extent this protection should go and who ultimately owns a Ferrari. In 2014, renowned electronic music producer deadmau5 decided to personalize his Ferrari 458 Italia in a unique way. He opted for an exotic design, a print inspired by the Yin Cat meme, famous on the internet. He dubbed the supercar Ferrari, alluding to feline purring, creating an exclusive vehicle that effectively turned his Ferrari into a meme on wheels. But it didn't stop there. deadmau5 replaced the traditional badges with customized versions, harmonizing with the new aesthetic. Even the original floor mats were replaced with more feline versions. It's understandable that Ferrari didn't approve of these modifications, leading to the delivery of a cease and desist notice to the Canadian artist. The demand was for deadmau5 to revert the customizations or face legal implications. The musician chose to remove the modifications and subsequently listed the vehicle for sale. But what truly displeased Ferrari in this episode? Essentially, the fact that one of their cars had been subjected to a joke. Ferrari fiercely protects the image of their products and the brand as a whole. These vehicles are considered works of art, with limited access and requiring respectful treatment befitting their superiority. The rigorous client approval process aims to prevent just anyone from acquiring their cars and potentially damaging the brand's reputation by associating it with images or lifestyles that don't align with their vision. This care is crucial to understand Ferrari's stance in the face of the current social media culture, where almost nothing is taken seriously. Where ostentation prevails over meaning, and a Ferrari can be reduced to a mere accessory in the collection of a wealthy influencer. Ferrari aspires for its audience to properly value their cars, recognizing them as synonymous with luxury, power, quality, exclusivity, and rarity. Furthermore, they want their vehicles to not only be indicative of status and fame. It's important to preserve the company's origins, with a focus on the racetrack, which diverges from other brands that embrace memes and social media trends. When deadmau5 decided to part ways with his Ferrari, Nissan promptly offered a Nissan GT-R with the Yin Cat print, a way to provoke Ferrari and capitalize on the publicity. In 2015, the musician purchased a Lamborghini Huracan, once again employing a meme theme and naming the new vehicle Huracan. Lamborghini did not object to the jest. In fact, when deadmau5 sold the Huracan in 2017, Lamborghini offered an upgrade to an Aventador model. While Ferrari pursues any action that could compromise the brand's impeccable image, Lamborghini and other manufacturers have learned to embrace social media and do not limit the purchase of their cars. A 2020 survey indicated Lamborghini as a leader in social media marketing, reflecting their closer proximity to the audience, strong and consistent brand, and a wide range of content distributed across various platforms. A red Ferrari may be the most iconic configuration in automotive history, standing out for its design, sound, and color. Enzo Ferrari, the founder, had a primary interest in racing tracks. Selling to the general public was never his main objective. It wasn't until 1950 when Luigi Chinetti opened the first Ferrari dealership in the United States. Until then, Ferraris were only available to racing enthusiasts, the wealthy, and competitions, and Enzo had no interest in adapting his cars for the roads and the average consumer. However, to finance his racing projects, he decided to start selling cars. A famous quote from Enzo was, "I don't sell cars, I sell engines. The cars I give for free, since something needs to hold the engines." The Grand Ferrari F40 was Enzo's last project and had absolutely no luxury. In a video made by our fellow YouTuber Doug DeMuro, he shows that the car doesn't have air conditioning, power windows, reading lights, or even internal door handles. Even the gears are focused on the tracks, with a dogleg style, where the first gear is on the left and down to facilitate shifting between second and third gears, which are more commonly used on the tracks. After Enzo Ferrari's death, longtime executive Luca di Montezemolo took over the presidency. Under his leadership, Ferrari transformed into a global luxury brand. In an era of influencers seeking attention, owning a Ferrari would be an obvious and, to some extent, necessary acquisition to sell a product or convey the status of being a millionaire. However, as having money is not enough to acquire a Ferrari, and many of these influencers are more concerned with grabbing attention and care little about the car itself, this is where the next option comes in: Lamborghini, which doesn't care about who buys their cars and captures the public's attention just like a Ferrari. And if it's yellow, even better. Perhaps Ferrari doesn't want to be associated with this type of person who doesn't care about the car and uses it as a means to grab attention. Although Ferrari's strategy may not seem very popular at first glance, the truth is that it ends up working. Of course, it's subjective to say whether it's worth it or not to subject oneself to Ferrari's controversial strategy just to own a 0-kilometer car created by the finest Italian engineering. But it's estimated that about 10% of their total revenue comes from the sale of limited edition models. The rarity and exclusivity of these models enhance the value of the cars, which end up being sold with much higher profit margins than standard models. Knowing this, what is your perspective on Ferrari's strategy? Do you agree with it? Let me know in the comments and take a look at what other subscribers are saying about it. Now, to find out what the Volkswagen scandal is all about and how it unfolded, click on the video playing on your screen right now. Or if you want to hear what John Lennon has to say about Ferrari, you can choose that too. They are both right there. Afterward, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications because I post new videos every day. I'll see you in the next one.